I'm Mr. X, and this is my review for The Gentleman. In the latest instalment of Guy Ritchies' I'm Working Class, Get Me Out of Here, we come across a selection of writers who encapsulates Ritchie's DNA and spreads it over 8 episodes for a series so teeming with the Londoner filmmaker's fingerprints. It's a shock to see he didn't write the whole thing on his own, bringing up reminders of what the Gibbon brothers have done for Alan Partridge. The addition of writers Matthew Reid and Stuart Carolyn, among others, have taken one of his properties and let the typewriter run wild, creating a whimsically hilarious set of episodes so binge-inducing that the next episode button should come with a phone number for an addiction clinic. What the Gibbons brothers did for Partridge since coming on board is far more than simply creating more Alan. They have written in him a complexity and ever-evolving maturity that even Steve Coogan himself said was needed for a character who had become stale. This life injected into the Norwich-based goat has brought Partridge to the forefront of popular culture once more, and made the character fun to play again for the creator Coogan. And although one can hardly call Guy Ritchie stale, if anything he's riding a career high at the moment, the analogy stands, as the Gentleman TV series betters the film it is spun off of, and in doing so have created perhaps the best entry into Ritchie's oeuvre since that film starring the Blue Oscar slapper. Theo James, showing added dimension after his White Lotus and Divergent series of films, slips into the new Duke's clothes rather well, and Daniel Ings scores as well as his Premier League footballing namesake, as a hell of a find by Daniel Hubbard and Rory O'Kay in charge of casting. Though perusing the production crew, one has to allow a lot of scrolling time to find Laura Jackson as the single lone female producer amongst her other 17 male counterparts, along with 7 male writers and 4 male directors. Those really must have been some estrogen lonely shooting days. Despite gaffes about class, wants and celebrity, this is a show that really has a unifying heart to it. The overly heavy-handed 5th episode, displaying the breaking down of class barriers, still curated an edifying result. When the divides are divided, the remains remain, and what we are left with is a greatly human set of stories, woven into, if not overly fresh ingredients, at least a satisfying dish. The heart of this pie remains strong, with family at the centre of the story most will hunger for. And in Freddie and Lady Jane, we've received 2 side dishes we weren't aware we starved for. And along with the rest of the family, related or not, we are grateful for what we have received. No more food analogies. Promise. Vinnie Jones has a turn with a nuanced performance as surprising as it is unsurprising. Of larger surprise than Jones's multifaceted career is the relatively average reviews the series has received thus far, with the show deserving of a little more love, but there's no accounting for taste, an idiom rather suited to this world of faux toffery Ritchie seems enamoured with. When it comes to the visual air created here, wide lenses are the fashion. It's a lens that Guy Ritchie has used a lot of since way back in his Lock Stock days, and with his precious time only allowing for him to direct the opening 2 episodes, is something that is apparent, though really only just, with there being enough visual flair to be had here during the show's runtime, and frankly, had Ritchie's preference for overly visual verve and vigour been an ever-present throughout the 8-hour runtime, it may have overstayed its welcome. Narratively, there was enough to go around, with episode 5 changing things up, with genuine heart creeping into the frivolities, in an episode that also saw a coming together of souls in the widowed Lady Sabrina, played with achingly wide-eyed vulnerability by Jolie Richardson, and Fred the groundskeeper, played with fantastic nuance by the former Wimbledon midfielder Jones, in an almost carbon copy, fast-showed Ted and Ralph sketch, which no doubt had most audience members screaming, Kiss her, you fool. There seems a watershed moment for Ritchie recently, a road to Damascus moment of creative growth. There would have been a time when building up to a deafening crescendo would have been his overriding instinct. The culmination would be the whole point, as that's when heavy-handed directors really get to show off. Lately, the friends he made along the way seem to be the satisfying last bite he takes away from the meal, and the dishes he serves up are all the more for it. Damned food again. I must be hungry. Netflix have become known for picking up the dregs of movie and TV society that the larger studios are happy to throw aside. However, they show that betting on the right races occasionally pay off. Here's hoping these horses will remain fed and hungry for more competition, as there will be willing punters awaiting.